Are you gonna roll on me? I'm not used to having a rescued caracal here at the Wildcat Sanctuary who's excited to have human company here. I'll admit that. Welcome everyone. Truth to tell, I'm in a pretty fun spot here. I am in Small Cat Track hanging out with some very special rescues. That is caracal Amira, who started off the live post, Mojave, who's knocking around his free-roaming habitat. You can see rescued African serval Thane, who also came from the same rescue, the caracals, that we'll be talking about, a harrowing rescue from a breeding facility in Michigan. But good to see serval Thane enjoying his free-roaming habitat. I see that would be African caracal Mojave knocking around his space. He's got some soft straw on his hammock. I see Amira coming in under the platform, and I'm looking around, and we know that Amira and Mojave have been successfully merged with caracal Aurora. Our 3 rescued caracals are now a caracal troop here in one habitat. I do not see Aurora, but nonetheless, let's say hi to the folks. Welcome everyone. Hey Patricia A, Deborah R, Carrie Miller. Hey Cheryl Harden. Sue Buttons checking in from the other side of the pond. Hey Sue, happy Tuesday. And happy bidding too on the auction that we just announced this morning. I'll certainly be talking about that as well. Lauren Kramer's here, and you gave some stars as well. Lauren, you always come in to these live posts with a bang. Thank you for those 200 stars. Lori Ann's watching as well. Hey Lori Ann, good morning. Hey Krista Christensen. I'm kind of in a unique spot here. I'm in Small Cat Track, and Small Cat Track is where a majority of our rescued medium cats live. You can see Thane doing a little drive-by here. Hey, handsome man. Oh, you just love humans, don't you? You love showing that big fluffy tail that you've been given. My, oh my. We're going to talk about Thane. We're going to talk about Mojave, as well as Sushi, who was included in that rescue, resident rescued fishing cat Sushi. Let's get a good angle on Mr. Mojave, taking it easy here, and keep on getting some hellos in. Deborah R. Shooting out a happy Tuesday to everyone. Love that sense of community that you all create here on our live posts and in the comment sections. And Thane, how shrewd he is. I kind of was mentioning this last week when we were visiting with rescued lynx Miko and Ripley, of just how special it is to see cats kind of come into the wild at heart routine, if you will. Thane sees caretaker Elise way over in Hybrid Haven, and he says, well, if I stand by my lockout, does that mean she'll come all the way over here and give me a delicious chicken piece? And I wouldn't be surprised if Caracal Aurora maybe joined us, maybe she hopped out of her room and were to come out on her heated den over here. That's one of her favorite kind of midday hangout spots. Lois A. saying hi to the TWS family. Glad to have you, Lois. Happy Tuesday. And if I'm not mistaken, unless I'm having amnesia, I believe this would be the first time that we have brought the merged caracal trio, Mojave, Amira, and of course Caracal Aurora, to you on a live post. So you'll have to help me if I've made a mistake saying that, but we made their announcement officially last week that the merger was a success. Caretakers, as always, are very scrupulous and detailed with their merging process. We obviously take the care and safety of our rescued residents as a paramount, and certainly we like offering companionship to our rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, but not at the cost of their well-being and safety. And so, as I said, very kind of thorough and rigorous merging process has left these 3 rescued residents with 2 new friends, and we're so happy about that. And we talk about all the variety of ways that your support goes to help our rescues here, and certainly offering companionship is one thing that should never be overlooked, and especially as I talk about how intensive of a process that can be, and the type of staff hours that it takes to ensure that these relationships are going to be successful, and it's going to be a safe decision for the cats involved. Are you cruising around your big space, Thane? Have you ever had a space this big? Have you ever had a space this big, handsome man? I don't think so. Tragically, Mojave, Amira, and Aurora, I'm sure perhaps by now someone might have shared a link to their rescue story, and if not, I'm sure one of our keyboard warriors can do so, Mr. Thane. But these cats, along with Sushi, were rescued from a breeding facility. And tragically, these cats didn't have any names. They just were numbers. They were a means of making profit, breeding more of these exotic cats for the pet market and roadside zoo market. Here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, their rescued life could not be farther from the reality that they once knew. They're not commodities. They're family members, if you will, of our giant rescued family that you guys help support. And knowing that these cats faced a reality that, is nothing short of grim, and that here they are, we're celebrating, not only a new rescued life, but new friends during that rescued life. A lot to get excited about, and a lot to remind ourselves of what we're capable of, and especially as we continue to talk about what we call the small cat crisis here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Well, thank you. Thank you. You just come with the fluffy tails, Mr. Thane. You are just a social little ham. Just a social little ham. It is nice seeing a social little serval like Thane in this free-roaming habitat. It's been a couple cats since this habitat, but our beloved Morocco, or Rocky, maybe as many of you knew him, lived in the space that Thane is in now. And Rocky was chatty and social and made a point to make sure that he got his human time in. And Thane is one of those cats as well. You can see he's bumping around his habitat. He's certainly aware of where the caretakers are. I think he's got a rumbling tummy. But he is sure to come over, make a pit stop for me, and I certainly appreciate that. That fills my cup, Mr. Thane, just as it fills yours. And he's looking over at the prep room. That would be Lizzie, Nunda, and Phoenix, another rescued serval group over in that space. And hey, Thane's been about as gentlemanly as it comes when it came to meeting those three along their shared wall and just kind of interacting with them as he's come into this new space. He's really been awesome, and it's been good to see that there's been kind of no tension or just uneasiness between those cats and their new neighbor and Thane and his new neighbor. That's Mojave. He was cruising around. He was in his indoor room, probably trying to get Aurora to come and join in on the live post fun here. But that's one of the beauties here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, is the option for our cats to have choices. Aurora says, I'm hanging out inside. Just because I have new friends doesn't mean that I'm not going to be my same fickle self. And I mean that in the most endearing way, Aurora. I love you so, and you truly are the Sanctuary Diva, and I am happy that you proudly wear that crown. But someone asking, which caracal is this? That is Mojave on that shared wall. That would be Ava and the Peppers. That looks like I see Belle. I just noticed her. That is so cool. So that's Belle, who's curious about Mojave walking along that shared wall. Where is that jalapeno? I'm mistaken. That is jalapeno and not Belle. Kind of hard for me to see on the mesh. We have that fine mesh going along that shared wall. Obviously, that's one of the things that I talk about, the rigorous process of merging our rescues. One of the things is making sure that the habitat is prepared for a potential merger and new cats, and making sure that what originally is just 2x4 fencing, so 2 inches by 4 inches, making it quite easy for a serval arm or caracal arm, serval tail or caracal tail to make their way through. We're going to go through and make sure that that fine meshing is put up so nothing like that can happen. But it looks like that's Hal over there, who's inspecting his neighbor, and Mr. Mojave, who likes strutting his stuff. Thane's come back to join me. Hey, handsome dude. Talked a little cat stories. We've talked a little kind of cat updates on Thane and the caracals here. But now for some sanctuary updates, as today we announced an exciting new auction. And these auctions have really been a fun and truthfully an effective way of helping the cats, and as well as creating something for you, a kind of a physical TWS keepsake for you to claim as your own. And today we launched another auction, and Tammy mentioned in the e-newsletter, and I just cannot help but agree with her after seeing all the items for myself, is that I think that this auction might have some of the most unique items in terms of the cat-made items that have been expertly crafted by Ginny, one of our dedicated volunteers. So, and when I say cat-made items, that can be anything from not a wind chime, my mistake, a windmill made out of barrels and toys that have been scratched up by the cats. I can think of a Dash luminary set, a kind of candle set that is made from different pieces of toys that Dash has torn up, and Jenny actually really craftfully molded into little epoxy mold candle holders. The list goes on, but it's really special to see the amount of creativity that goes into repurposing some of these old cat toys and creating them to truthfully these lifelong keepsakes that are not only cool to look at, but make for great conversation pieces. And that means that you're talking about the cats, you're teaching somebody about TWS, and they're going to pay it forward and hopefully do the same to someone else. I got a lot of curious cats here. A lot of kiddos going in and out. I can't blame them. It is kind of lunchtime, so I think that they're kind of curious about when that tasty TWS food train is coming. But if you're just joining us, I'm hanging out with caracals Mojave and Aurora, or Mojave and Amira, rather. We have yet to see caracal Aurora, albeit she does live with these two formerly, as we all know. And hanging out with serval Thane right behind me. I'm going to get into the comments here for a moment. I've been chatting. Maria Stahl getting excited about some of the auction items. Thank you for that, Maria. Another thing that's worth mentioning too, and kind of the variety of options, the single tickets and the two tickets are VIP tickets for an on-site visit here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. As you guys know, and I'm sure as one of the reasons you support us, is that the Wildcat Sanctuary, Mr. Thane, is we're close to the public. And we put the cats first here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Our rescues benefit from a sanctuary environment that is not open to the public and that does not have people cycling through. Albeit, that makes it a little bit harder for those, maybe who find that they have a special connection with cats by visiting the Wildcat Sanctuary. Well, here's an opportunity for you to do exactly that in a VIP setting, just for you, as well as there is a pair of tickets, so it could be for you and one other lucky individual to come to the Wildcat Sanctuary and experience, truthfully the magic that you make possible here, the compassion that you make possible here. So not only some of those physical items that are absolutely special, Mr. Handsome Man, oh boy, but those experiences being certainly something not to be overlooked, and we appreciate you guys considering those as well. Well, Mr. Thane, are we cruising? I have to admit, keep on looking at the weather, Miss Amira, and I'm forgetting that it's I'm going to fall back here, Miss Amira. I get a little nervous about the signal. But it's hard to believe it's February 6th here in northern Minnesota, but nonetheless, I think Thane and cats like the caracals here aren't too perturbed by the lack of snow on the ground and lack of cold. Bree MacArthur commenting, Thane reminds me of another serval at another sanctuary, so very social. Certainly those servals can be social. And I think just like a tiger, or any of our cats for that matter, you put a piece of food down in front of them, and Thane will show his true colors in the best way possible. And I also mentioned a little earlier in this post, it had been a couple cats since that habitat, but Thane, look at Mojave and Jalapeno here. Good interaction, team. Good interaction. Nice job. But it had been a couple cats since that habitat, but our beloved Morocco, or Rocky, as many of you knew him rather, used to live in this habitat, and he was a very chatty and a very social serval. And so I certainly have some core TWS memories of Rocky chatting away in that habitat, and definitely kind of gives me some fond memories of Rocky to see Thane kind of walking in his footsteps in that habitat and as a very social serval. I gotta admit, it's kind of been hard to keep up with some of these rescued caracals on this live post. Same with Mr. Thane. Everybody is cruising around and enjoying the space that your support provides. Talked a little bit about the caracal's story, as well as Thane's story, and where they were rescued from, and in that life they couldn't even fathom in a space like this. And it's just one of the many, many reasons that we are so thankful that you guys are out there supporting cats like Thane, supporting cats like Amir and Mojave and Sushi, who came from that rescue, and also making sure that we can stand up and make a difference for cats like those yet to come. Mr. Mojave cruising around, and I've kind of had Amira kind of down at my feet here, cruising back and forth. But, I think we might call that a live post, folks. I really had a blast checking in with some of these caracal rescues, and as I mentioned, this would be their first live post debut. Their merger, we announced, was a success last week. Hey, Mr. Thane, are you checking out what Nunda's doing? She is a pretty gal. I can admit that. Yeah, he says, who's that pretty gal over there? I lost my train of thought, Thane. Thanks a lot, Mr. Handsome. Anyways, I won't give a long, beleaguered Minnesota goodbye. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and joining in, all truthfully, what you make possible here at the Wildcats for so many rescued residents. So I want everyone to have a great rest of their Tuesday in the TWS auction that's active now through February 9th. And again, have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you back here at the Wildcat Sanctuary soon.